And we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another streaming, I was going to say podcast, but just another author writing his words in the great beyond. Hope everyone's doing great today. I'm a little bit later. I've got this week off from work, so I will be um doing a lot more writing online. I'm trying to get actually 10 to 20,000 words this week. We'll see if that happens. I'm not too sure if I want to see you, but we'll see if that happens. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see if that happens, and we'll see the outcome of that. Um, yeah. Apart from that, I am okay. Just I did want to go to the gym this morning, but it was either get some words in first and go to the gym second, or go to gym first and try and get some words in afterwards. But I was like, you know what? It's I've got something to do. So I need to leave around 10ish, 9, 10ish. So instead of trying to cram everything in and doing two things half-heartedly, I'll just write full-heartedly and then go to the gym later this afternoon before I go to jiu-jitsu in the evening. Yeah. Apart from that, it's been cool. Me and Gabe did a podcast on Saturday, which was really good. If you've not seen the Story Forge podcast, get it. Give it a look. Give. We are two authors who make stories on the fly. So every episode is not a new story. We try and do it like seasons. So our first 10 episodes was about two guys, Ryan Sinclair and Sam the Man, who'd been sucked into a portal fantasy different worlds, and now we're writing about Tim and Dave. And the whole premise is called the game show. It's kind of lit RPG esque. Actually, is it lit RPG esque? Because we Gabe writes in that genre, so do I. Actually, more progression fantasy, both of us. He is alternative history, alternate history. But yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun. You can find that on YouTube, Storyforge podcast, or I was gonna say Amazon or Spotify. I think we're on Apple as well and a few other places. But yeah, it's as you can see by the light on my face, it's a beautiful morning this morning. Very beautiful, bit windy, bit autumny, but I love these sort of days. I write best during the spring and autumn months. Like I love the so if no one knows about anything about me, before we continue, I'm an author. I write science fiction, fantasy, 25 plus books, da 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 da. Check my books out on store. But for me, the person, I like a vibe. It has to be, I'm all about the vibes. Um, Either that be like going out somewhere or dressing or even buying a new car. If I feel like I connect with that item, I'll buy it. And that is a weird thing to say, but I'm very much all about the vibes. And I think my books are the same way. That's why all the covers have to have a certain feel. When I write chapters, I write them to certain different soundtracks. Yeah, it's just about the vibes for me. So um I say that to say shit, what was my point? Um yeah, so no, that was it. Autumn. So autumn and spring. I love the a moody weather. So thunderstorms, wind everywhere. You can hear the trees rattling around as it's kind of like it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but it looks about 8 o'clock at night, and it's moody and it's windy, and sometimes there's sprinkling of rain or heavy downpour. I love writing in that sort of atmosphere, either spring or autumn time. Not so much during the summer, because I can't, when it's 45 degrees or 40 degrees or 30 degrees, I can't concentrate. I can't write, I can't sit on a chair, I can't just do anything. And during the winter sometimes it gets too cold. Um, but yeah, I love a good autumn or spring. Plus I'm a hoodie jumper sort of person. And I've got an extensive collection of hoodies or jumpers. Yeah, which I might start wearing different ones on my YouTube. So I'm also uh I'm doing a lot of shit, but I'm doing a series called The Leap. The Leap is me documenting the next 12 months of my life regards to writing. So not vlogging, not hey guys, I went to the grocery today. None of that bullshit. I am documenting the next 12 months of my life regards to what it takes to become a full-time author. I've been writing for the last 10 years. I've had bestsellers, I've had flops, I've had everything in between. But the next 12 months, I want to document the day to day of an author and kind of at if I flop at making my goal come true, i.e. becoming an author by October next year, 2026, then I can look back at what I have or I can look back at my videos and go, that's where that happened, that's where this happened, you weren't doing this right. And the I got this idea from Alex Hermosi. um if you don't know who he is, you probably see him on social media. He is a massive jack guy with a full head of hair and a big bushy beard, and he always wears a tank top. And he started social media 10, 15 years ago, just documenting his successes, his failures in business, and what he'd learned. And he wasn't selling a course, he wasn't doing any of that shit. It was just, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. You could learn from it, from my mistakes. You can also see what I'm doing and it help your own business. And he grew a steadfast following and never sold a course in the 10 years. He sells shit now, but he never sold the course in 10 years. And he's just like, look, I'm not like these other guys who, oh, let me show you how to be rich by me taking your money and becoming rich. He was like, no, 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 there's none of that bullshit. I am an entrepreneur. I have a business. I have multiple businesses. This is where I'm failing. This is where I'm not. This so it was very transparent, and because of that, people loved it. Now, hold on, take a sip of my tea. Now, because of that, people are because of the rise of AI and everything's fake, and you cannot trust anyone anymore on the interwebs. People are clamoring for authenticity, and I say that to say the small creator is coming back. I steadfastly believe that, like little YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, these little subgroups of there'll there'll be one guy or one gal who talks about something, but what could it be? Whatever there is, it could be like, I'm a plumber. Um, Here is what I am doing to improve my business, but it's you can watch it not because you want to get into plumbing, but because you like that person. And again, the vibes, you like the vibes of that person to say, yeah, I fuck with this person. So let me see what like a day-to-day life, their struggles. Everyone can relate to struggles, everyone can relate to the ups and downs of life. And I think that's where we're in the next 1 to 2 years, it will be loads of people who are like 10,000 followers, 20,000, like 50, 100, not these massive Mr. Beast, Jake Paul, Kai Cenat type figures, a lot more small tribes. And I think if you're anyone who is thinking about doing this, like you're a plumber, you're an author, you're a painter, you're a designer, graphic designer. I'm looking at you, Shane. Um, just talk about your day-to-day processes, what works, what doesn't, um, and don't do it as in don't do it as in you're trying to reach other people in your field. Do it as you're a main character. This is your story. Let's take a ride along my story. Um, and you might drop off along the way. You might think this is boring as fuck. You might people watching this think this is boring as fuck. But the people who do, they're not who I want in my tribe. The people who fuck with me, then they'll read my books. They will listen to the podcast. We will welcome them into open arms. As me and Gabe always say, we are authentic as fuck. Sometimes we can be a bit of assholes. It's all jokes. We take the piss out of everyone. Um, and we're not easily offended, and we don't really rock with people who are easily offended. Like my books, if you're easily offended, my books are not for you, especially Destroyer of Gods, which I'm writing book 3 today, in like an hour, for an hour or two. It is a book with lots of swearing, lots of violence, lots of dark humor, things that you laugh at and think, ah, fuck, I shouldn't be laughing at this. But that is my style. I always say I am a mixture between um Quentin Tarantino and Guy Ritchie. If those two had a baby, as weird as that sounds, I would be the product of that baby. I wish I was a creative genius like Christopher Nolan, but the man talks about stories like it's an equation, and I just can't. Yeah, like it's a maths equation, and I just can't follow him. What I view. So yeah, Christopher Nolan views. If you never watch. There's some YouTube clips of him giving like almost lectures on story, and it's almost like a formula. He sees it like as a mass equation, mass formula. Well, I see as a feeling. So I'm very good at picking strands of feelings and vibes, again, that word vibes, out of the story, and almost seeing it like colors. It's really weird. Like I've never been to school for storytelling. I've just read lots of books, written lots of words, and I can just feel a good story and feel what's right and what's wrong. For me to teach it or explain it, I couldn't. But I know innately what works and what doesn't. But anyway, that's why everyone's so different, and the world goes around because we're each very vastly different. But anyway, enough of me talking. Let me get some words in, and then I will see you good folks in a little bit. Damn, I've been talking for 12 minutes already.
Mm. Mm. Determination. Technique and fighting prowess. Prowess. No. Is that right? Debris. Distraction. Stop him for a moment. Bull charge ahead. Boost in strength. Skeletal. Skeletal. Mm.
Okay, I'm gonna take 5 minute break and I shall be back. Oh.
Half an hour. Hey. La 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 la. Let us go back. Horde. Viking. Beheading. Jonathan. Recovered. Francisco. Bearings. Powered. Jonathan. Center of gravity. Center. Strike. Strike. solar plexus, zombie corpse, Jonathan. Jonathan aimed his way. Opponents. Francisco. Poisoned. Poisoned. Choice. Excuse. Tired of fighting. Survive. Jonathan came on again. Francisco was ready for him. Jonathan. Francisco. Jonathan. Hmm. Tra- trajectory. The moment was right.
All right, ladies and gents, that is me. I'm staring off into space way too much, which means my creative my attention span is dwindling and the words aren't coming as smoothly. I am gonna leave it for hair and I will pop on later on today at some point to do some more. I want to get 1,500 words if I can today. That would be great. 2,000 will be absolutely amazing. Yeah, so I might do another stream. I'll see how I feel. Either just write offline and then come back and just talk about the book, and interact with a few people because I'm not normally on here during the day, and go from here. But yes, as always, Destroyer of Gods. I feel like I keep on saying the same thing, but this is the greatest book I have ever written, and I am pleasantly pleased with it. I've written 25 books to date. Um, this book one and book two are chef's kiss. Mwah, beautiful. Yeah, it's a story that I am happy that I got out before I passed away. There is a couple of series that I want to finish before it's all said and done. And this was one of these stories. This is an homage, a love letter to anyone who loves any sort of anime. So Hunter x Hunter, Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, um, Demon Slayer, you name it. It's got elements of that in here, but it's also a love letter to fantasy books. Fantasy books, as in, I grew up reading The Name of the Wind, Assassin's Apprentice, His Dark Materials, just all the greats, The Hobbit, just books that stand the test of time and will be read decades and centuries later. This is, yeah, I took those elements from those stories and put that in here. So think of your favorite fantasy book, and that is what this will have elements of it. It's got three main characters, Isaac Levity, who's, I'm not even going to spoil it, who has his own issues. It's got Felicity Cooper, who is escaping Earth for various reasons to start a new life, because she just needs to survive. And Francisco Rico, who is, in all sense and purposes, a dick, but he is our dick, if you know what I mean. And that sounds weird to say, but some of us have friends that are just arseholes, but we love them anyway. And Francisco Rico is that sort of person, that sort of character. He is trying to clear his name and clear his last name and become something greater than himself and greater than his name. Francisco Rico is the old adage that the son is always punished for the father's sins, and that definitely transpires in this story here. But yeah, writing book 3, going well. A lot shorter than lot slower than I would want to. I'm in like 35,000 words, but I want, like I said, I want to do 10 to 20 this week if I can. Just bang out a load of words and try to catch up. I want to finish this book by December. But anyway, you can find me on all social platforms. Everyone, Kick, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, I think. Facebook. I am everywhere. And I also do a podcast, Storyforge podcast with Gabriel Rathwig. Storyforge is on YouTube. We do a live podcast every Tuesday, kind of about 7 p.m. GMT time, and it's also on like Apple and Spotify and all those. Basically, it is a podcast where 2 authors tell story live. We don't know anything about the story. We just get in there and just one of us has an idea and we just run with it. And hilarity ensues. But anyway, I am your not so humble author, Dominic Mondesi. Buy one of my books as always. And I will see you good folks on the other side. Bye-bye.